Hi, I'm Jane King, and this is New to the Street, in person back here at the Nasdaq market site in New York City. This show is all about public, private blockchain companies, the CEOs, the founders, and the innovators, bringing you lots of opportunities to consider. Here we go. Welcome to New to the Street's Unstoppable Show with me, co-host Rhonda Swan.
See you.
And then also Jonas Muthoni, the CEO and founder of Deviate Agency.
Thank you for having
Great
me.
to have you back.
Yeah.
Tell us about Deviate. Give us an overview of what it is that you do.
Yeah, so Deviate is an online marketing agency that helps brands increase and dominate their online space. So basically, think of a company that's trying to penetrate or already in the online space. So our job is to come in there and find ways to get them to increase their market share within the online marketing field. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so important these days, right? Being online, having that presence. What would make then Deviate more different than others, right? There's a lot of companies out there. What makes you guys the best?
Correct.
What are you doing to do that?
So first, it's the team that we have, a super diverse team, which helps bring diverse ideas that actually help give the best-in-class results to our clients. And then secondly, is because we, unlike other agencies where it's an agency and client relationship, we focus more on a partnership. So think of us as an extension of your marketing agency, of your marketing team. So when you work with us, we want to be able to understand what your vision and mission is, so we can be able to give you the best execution and give you the best-in-class results.
Yeah, I love that. And I know that you focus a lot on like the core competencies that companies really need that they usually overlook.
Correct.
Right? What are some of those things that they use, but now they really need new and different ways to help them dominate for long-term success in their marketing?
Yeah, so one of our core services is actually SEO, right? So, and you want to think of SEO as a way to build one authority within the search engine, so where the search engines understand what your business is about. But at the same time, it's about getting that organic traffic, because anyone that finds you organically through Google means they're ready to do business with you at that point. And what makes us different is because we actually look at everything from different angles, because we want to make sure that when you get this qualified traffic to your website, that your website is not working against you, but actually converting the traffic. So I always urge companies, there's other ways obviously to get that quick ROI and ROAS for your business. So when you run in paid advertising, you couple that with public relations as a third-party social proof. But when it comes to the SEO, think of it as building a rental property. So what do you do first, right? So you pay for you invest in the labor, you invest in materials. And then when that rental property is built, then you're collecting dividends for the rest of your life, right? So that's what SEO is in general.
Yeah, and that's something that I think a lot of companies, they just overlook. They're thinking, it takes a bit longer.
Yeah.
How long is the process for an SEO to really begin generating leads organically for a company?
So it depends, because for example, the way we approach SEO is what's the low-hanging fruit, right? So we go after the low-hanging fruit. But in general, based on how your website is optimized on a technical side, and then also based on the type of content that you're actually adding onto the website, and all the offset SEO strategies, which includes the backlink building. So you start seeing traction in about 3 months, and also SEO is, the more money you put into it, the more results you get, right? And that's what we have. We have different tiers of packages, and the more aggressive you go, the more we're able to get you more backlinks, the more we're able to get you more content, and build relationships with all these other, relevant websites that actually have individuals that actually are more relatable to your product or service.
Very interesting. Thank you so much, Jonas.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Great to have you.
All right.
Thousands of people use Phantom every day to access DeFi, NFT, Metaverse, and GameFi decentralized applications. On Phantom, you can trade, lend, and borrow in a fully decentralized way with instant speed and near zero fees. Whether you're an artist or a collector, there's a rich and accessible NFT ecosystem to explore. Join your friends in the Metaverse for exciting digital experiences or play revolutionary Web3 games. Join Phantom today.
Auto Parts for Less is an online marketplace for auto parts, exactly what it's advertised to be. So with me, the founder and CEO, Christopher Davenport, to explain the company. And it's interesting, you call yourself a marketplace. That's a little different than e-commerce, right? So explain the difference.
Yeah, it's a little confusing when you, because the world in the world today of online sales, which is exploding. So you have single seller sites, traditional companies trying to sell their goods. A marketplace is two separate participants. You have the supply side, which are sellers, and the demand side, which are buyers.
Okay.
And that's a very different story, and it has powerful consequences and growth models and acceptance. Marketplaces benefit from what's called network effects, and this is really unique to digital marketplaces, where as more people join, it becomes more and more valuable. So more sellers, it's valuable to the buyers, more buyers are valuable to the sellers.
Right, okay, makes sense.
Yeah, and you achieve this momentum, a spin wheel effect, and at some point it just kind of goes exponential. So they're very exciting models.
So you're bringing together buyers and sellers of auto parts, basically.
That's right.
Exactly what you're doing.
That's
okay.
exactly right. So we're the technology.
Okay, got it.
We coded the entire platform, so front end, back end. And so we don't sell, even though we're like, come to Auto Parts for Less and find whatever you're looking for. We don't do that. The sellers on the platform sell, and of course the buyers buy.
Okay. And then where did you come up with the idea? How did you come up with the idea for this?
So we were a single seller platform. Okay. So selling in a very niche market of Jeep, truck, and SUV parts, lift kits. In fact, we have an existing website, e-commerce website, liftkitsforless.com. But we're transitioning and going after a much, much larger market, which is the entire auto parts industry. Okay. And that includes boat, RV, power sports, anything and everything, electric, combustion, new, used, a one-stop shop for all your automotive part needs. Okay. And we're the first vertical to do that. Currently, Amazon, eBay, those are marketplaces, double-sided, but they're all things to all people, and that's a different experience. So,
what about competitors? Anybody else doing this? You said you were first mover, but
we are.
Okay.
Right. So we're the first dedicated, multi-sided, double-sided platform serving this auto parts industry. So yeah, we're the first and off and running, and it's exciting. So I think we have right now in our queue about 3 million parts that are being loaded. So yeah. It's exciting. So.
Interesting. Yeah. Where could somebody go to find out more about the company, or if they're interested in being a customer, buyer, seller, or an investor?
Yeah, the website's Auto Parts for Less, just like it sounds. If you want to learn about investing us, we're OTCQB, and our ticker is FLES, and you can go to autopartsforlessgroup.com and check us out.
Okay, thanks so much, Christopher. Very interesting. Thanks.
Thousands of people use Phantom every day to access DeFi, NFT, Metaverse, and GameFi decentralized applications. On Phantom, you can trade, lend, and borrow in a fully decentralized way with instant speed and near zero fees. Whether you're an artist or a collector, there's a rich and accessible NFT ecosystem to explore. Join your friends in the Metaverse for exciting digital experiences or play revolutionary Web3 games. Join Phantom today.
SAP IO helps companies transform how they do business. It works with the parent company, SAP, to help with new innovative companies. And with me is Sallie Jian, the head of SAP IO New York, to explain how all this works. So what is your role with the company? What is SAP IO?
Yes, so SAP IO is an organization within SAP. It's the corporate ventures and innovation team where we work with amazing software startups that can add a lot of value to SAP's technology ecosystem, our partners, our customers, and in short, they're really adding value to Fortune 500s and bringing them solutions that they're already looking for day to day. We have a global presence. I lead our, as you mentioned, SAP IO New York efforts. We have a global footprint in 11 cities throughout the world. We've been around for approximately 5 years, and we've worked with over 400 startups. Most of them, we work with them through our accelerator programs and help them on various opportunities to partner with SAP. And then opportunistically, they are great pipeline for investment and acquisition down the line and give us rich insights at SAP to really move the needle.
Well, in that way, SAP can make sure they're kind of on the cutting edge of some of the up-and-coming new innovations that are taking place. Yeah. So you're in town for some Web3 conferences. You're speaking on a corporate VC panel at SmartCon this week as well. So tell us about that, your visions of Web3. What will you be talking about these conferences?
Yeah. So Web3 is such a hot topic these days. For myself personally, I just got really involved and fell really into what they call the deep rabbit hole. Yeah. And I've been investing into crypto and digital assets. I've joined different DAOs. I'm going to all these conferences and doing all of this. I approached SAP, my team at SAP IO, and said, hey, we should really be diving into Web3 more and exploring those opportunities for our customers, for our partners. And so for over the last year or so, I've been working alongside various business leaders at SAP to figure out what are ways that we can adopt Web3 into SAP, like what is actually applicable and practical and usable by our enterprise customers. And so there are a couple of categories that I think have really popped out. First is around future of work. Okay. So, COVID has changed everything about future of work and how we work from home, how we do hybrid work, how we probably can't sit in a desk job for 8 to 10 hours straight. So, what are the opportunities there to help employees, have immersive learning and development, maybe do metaverse onboarding and training, and then, there's some interesting trends around crypto also. So employees really are interested in getting paid with crypto, for example. So are there opportunities to have these payroll opportunities or opportunities to help people elevate their salaries and incomes with this new type of currency? A second opportunity is really around commerce, and that could extend payments as well in crypto. We can think about how we can go into a store in a 3D environment rather than go travel throughout the world and walk into physical environments, virtual try-ons of clothing, apparel, even furniture and objects, beaming into your room like a hologram or a VR object, right? And then another category is around credentials. So and that's around verification with blockchain technology, understanding the provenance, authenticity of something, making sure that something is fair trade, or if it goes back through the circular economy, that we know the materials and the fabrics and the makeup of a product, and it goes back to the brand and retailer too, to have all of that information, and the customer gets all of that information. So the opportunities are these use cases are starting to really kind of come to fruition. It's early stages, but I'm really excited about it, and I'm really excited to be a part of these conferences and these communities and really try to broadcast it through my organization.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's fascinating to watch, and the potential of it is kind of amazing too. So
exactly.
Thank you so much, Sallie, for coming in and explaining SAP IO.
Thank you so much, Jane.
Yep.
Thank you.
Secure, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. Secure is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland. using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. Secure doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download Secure. Visit secure.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
Soligenix is a late-stage biopharmaceutical company committed to develop and commercialize products that treat rare diseases. And with me is Chris Schaber, the president and CEO of Soligenix. So welcome.
Thanks for having me, Jane.
Great to have you back at the Nasdaq. I know you went public here a few years ago.
Yes, good to be back.
Yes. So just tell me about the company. What is Soligenix all about?
Well, as you noted, we're a late-stage biopharmaceutical company focused on developing, commercializing products to treat rare diseases in areas of unmet medical need. And I think what makes Soligenix unique, Jane, is the robustness of the pipeline. We have two business segments. We have a specialized biotherapeutic segment focused on oncology and inflammation, all in the rare disease setting. And our lead program in particular is now moving towards a marketing authorization with the FDA, so hopefully approval sometime in next year in the second half. So we're starting to make that transition from development to commercial company. And then we also have a separate business segment called the Public Health Solutions business segment that has been funded entirely by the U.S. government to date. We've received in excess of $80 million of non-dilutive government funding. And what we do with that particular segment is we develop therapeutics and heat-stabilized vaccines for biodefense, for emerging infectious diseases. So quite a robust portfolio for a company our size.
Yeah, well, I was taking a look at your website. There's a lot. I want to talk to you about a lot of the different things you have going on, and I know there's a lot in the next few months. So you mentioned this potential FDA approval. What else? So you bring me up to date on what's happening.
Sure. So this quarter especially is very busy for us. As you know, when you're filing a new drug application with the FDA, it's really the culmination of more than 10 years of drug development, from preclinical through to clinical studies. All our clinical studies have been positive. Now you take all this information, you compile it, and you submit it to the FDA, and they review it for potential approval. So that has taken up a lot of our time. We'll be filing that this quarter, and we expect approval in the second half of next year because it is orphan and fast track. It is a rare form of cancer. So that's taken up quite a bit of our time. And then beyond that, we have a study that we're doing in psoriasis, mild to moderate psoriasis, obviously a much larger indication than cutaneous T-cell lymphoma, our rare cancer, but still an unmet medical need. And there will be initiating a phase 2 study this quarter, probably in December, with the same active ingredient that we're looking at and that we've shown effectiveness in with the cutaneous T-cell lymphoma, the rare disease. So quite interesting and quite a bit of work.
Now, you mentioned the psoriasis treatment that you're working on. Could you elaborate on that a little bit more? What is the treatment like? How big of a market might that be?
Sure. So it's the same active ingredient, that synthetic hypericin, that we're treating cutaneous T-cell lymphoma. And here, we're giving it a little bit longer. But believe it or not, psoriasis and cutaneous T-cell lymphoma are not dramatically different. One is a malignant T-cell that's proliferating, and the other is not. But the way the treatment works is the same. We can shrink those patches or plaques on the skin. And I think what's intriguing with our therapy is we not only work in the surface patches, but the deeper plaque lesions, which you would typically see in psoriasis as well. So we already had done a phase 1-2 study in psoriasis, a pilot study that was very positive, and we're now elaborating, expanding on that with a phase 2A study that will initiate in December, and we expect data probably in the second half of next year.
Okay, and the hybrid that you mentioned too, the FDA recently awarded $2.6 million for more study into that. So talk about that a little bit and what you plan to do with that.
Sure. So that was came from the FDA Orphan Products Division, so it was a nice added incentive for us after completing our phase 3 study. And what that looks at is extended treatment. We'll call it real-world treatment, and also the potential transition to the home use setting, which, as you would imagine, with a visible light unit, is pretty convenient for patients, especially if they're dealing with a chronic disease.
They can just do the treatment at home.
CTCL, exactly, or
Okay.
psoriasis. And in the age of telehealth that we've all experienced with COVID now, the clinician or nurse practitioner can be on the call and watch the patient get their treatment. They could even activate the light device remotely, so you can really manage it more effectively. And typically, when you're doing a phase 3 study, as you may know, with the FDA for approval, it's very structured, it's methodical. But when you go out to the setting of clinicians treating, that can vary, right, depending on what they see with the patient. So this additional money of the $2.6 million really allows us to, or the clinicians in particular, to look at extending the treatment, looking at it in different ways, and also that home use setting, which would be more real world.
Yeah, okay. Fascinating to hear about everything you have. And it sounds like next year is going to be a big year for you.
Very big
year. So,
year.
yeah, thanks so much, Chris.
Thank you very much.
Out of control inflation, escalating government debt, gas and energy bills burning through your savings, and a spiraling war in Europe. The world feels like a very uncertain place right now, and it's harder and harder to take control of your money and safeguard your savings. I mean, why would anyone want to keep their money in a bank that's only going to lend it out for its own profit? Putting your savings at risk, and for what? A pittance in interest? Well, let me tell you about Glint and how they can help you to save in real gold you can spend like dollars. Now, first off, Glint's not a bank or crypto or some new type of credit card. What Glint provides is the ability and freedom to buy, save, and spend real allocated gold that's secured in Brink's vaults and insured by Lloyd's of London. Glint's Smart app and MasterCard is leading the payments revolution, putting you in control of your money by making real gold, trusted for thousands of years, into an instant, secure digital currency for the modern world. Best of all, your gold is always your gold, with no one else's liability. It's secure and allocated to you. It never goes away, even in a crash. To learn more, go to glintpay.com or download Glint from your favorite app store. It's time to take control of your money and protect it with the time-tested security of gold and the modern digital convenience of Glint. Gold is security. Glint, it's key.
Secure, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. Secure is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. Secure doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download Secure. Visit secure.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
Sustainable Green Team is working in various industries on sustainable solutions. And with me is the CEO, Tony Raynor, and Brian Rivera, an administrative assistant, to talk more about the company. So, Tony, let's just start. What is Sustainable Green Team, and what are the components of it?
All right, yeah, the Sustainable Green Team is a holding company that has several different wholly owned subsidiaries that work together through vertical integration, taking tree waste and manufacturing products. One of its subsidiaries is a 35-year pioneer in the industry. They were the first ones in the market 35 years ago that innovated colored mulch and the technology to take natural iron oxide pigments and be able to make them adhere to fiber. And so we actually engineered the equipment and had R&D development and went through that. And so over a 35-year period of time, ending up with a 250 employee team, strong management, and being an innovator in that space, it's really positioned it to continue to look for newer technologies to utilize the different mechanisms that we have in place to have a more sustainable future, to be able to use products in a different way than just your traditional colored mulches.
Right.
Yeah.
And Brian, let's bring you in. So what kind of things are you seeing happen in the company?
Oh, wow. That's a great question because there's a lot of parts to it. And what I'm personally seeing is a group of pioneers with visionaries coming together and getting ready, to change and completely shake up our tradition and the way that we think about things. And it's exciting because people from all over are beginning to hear about it. They're finding out what it is we're doing, our goals and our visions, and they're reaching out. They're wanting to know what they can do to be a part of this. And it's in my opinion, when I look at it, I think it's beautiful. I think it's creative, and above that, like one of our employees would say, we are stupid excited about it.
Some radical ideas, it sounds like, that you're really trying to do. I mean, they're really they're scientific and really innovative. I know I've talked to some of the companies that you're associated with. So
if you take a look at it, here you have this 35-year pioneer in this industry here in America, and then you have a 35-year company that's made a discovery that took 35 years to build to where they are today, that's already making a difference in 17 different countries. And now we're taking two 35-year-old companies working together, and like Brian said, there's just such an excitement. Even within our organization, we have some of our team members that have been with us 30 plus years, and they're excited and they have a second wind to be a part of this because they started something. And now this new generation's coming in, and the wealth of knowledge that's being transferred over, we just see a massive, it's maybe a paradigm shift. I mean, this is something that is just in great need, and this discovery couldn't have happened in a better time in history today.
Okay, well, thank you so much
Absolutely.
for coming in and explaining more. And I know we're going to be seeing more of you and hearing more from the company, so thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thousands of people use Phantom every day to access DeFi, NFT, Metaverse, and GameFi decentralized applications. On Phantom, you can trade, lend, and borrow in a fully decentralized way with instant speed and near zero fees. Whether you're an artist or a collector, there's a rich and accessible NFT ecosystem to explore. Join your friends in the Metaverse for exciting digital experiences or play revolutionary Web3 games. Join Phantom today.